Alright, let's just be honest. Episode 10 was incredible. The music played some important roles throughout. However, there was also one key moment that really just didn't seem to make sense musically. I'll break it all down for you here. This is Star Wars Music Analysis.
Do it.
The opening title music did something really sly this week. Did anyone else notice Clea's theme finding its way into the music here? It's so similar to Andor's theme by moving up a perfect fifth and then down a whole step instead of up a perfect fifth and then down 2 consecutive half steps that you likely let it go by unnoticed, but it immediately had me on alert for Clea's role in this episode and everything going forward. Remember, last we heard Clea wanted Andor killed. As Andor and Kino return to their quarters, loud talking unfolds. It becomes rather chaotic as everyone is shouting questions. The emotionally swelling strings build and build until Kino pronounces the truth.
No one is getting out!
The music suddenly stops and returns, but this time as a low guttural tone in the basses. That much lower energy and darker sound then takes us out of the scene. The music that enters for the following morning, however, has the most hopeful feeling yet for the prison, while being a lighter tone, as everyone gets ready for the optimistic breakout. We next jump to Ferrix, and you can hear Bell Tower Guy in the background. By the way, does anyone have a name for him yet? It's Star Wars, so I assume we'll have an entire comic series for him soon, but let me know if he has a name already. The notes he played have actually changed, and I'm not sure if this was an intentional change or not. Before, his anvil sounded up a perfect fourth first. Now it moves down by a half step first. And perhaps this means it's a different time of day, since this doesn't actually look like early morning here. Mon Mothma's theme comes in as she's confronted with the ever-growing scenario that in order for her to continue funding the rebellion and not be caught, she may need to now marry off her daughter in order to appease Davo. I mentioned before how this theme seems to represent Mothma's life more than her actual character, as its depressing tones continue to underlie such a strong and powerful character who is being confronted with having to sacrifice everything. I love how as Andor is breaking the pipe and all through this scene the music plays underneath, increasing the tension, but then, as the moment of truth approaches, Bertel leans on a classic technique. He allows the silence of music and simply the sounds of the scene to reel us in, to make us feel the discomfort of the moment and rely on our own crazy imaginations as to what could happen next. We hear the same noises and silences as the characters, and we can easily feel the experience just as these characters are experiencing them without the same fourth wall. Now, what happens as the breakout begins is baffling. I really expected to hear Andor's music here because it's been so absent for so much of the last couple of episodes, and this is such an important moment for him. But instead, we hear Clea's theme. This is blowing my mind right now because she is obviously nowhere to be found. I really want to trust that Bertel is going somewhere with this, but this was a theme that he originally assigned to a spy walking down the corridors of Coruscant. And it's been attributed to her on the second part of the soundtrack, but since then, we have heard this theme return for Vel, and now the prison breakout, but not Clea herself. Is Bertel setting up something huge for Clea in the last couple of episodes, I wonder? And as the breakout continues, we hear a little bit of the Imperial prison music, this continuous descending third music that's come up before. As Kino's speech continues, the music nearly had me in tears. Bertel did an incredible job of creating music that slowly grew inspirationally before turning into more energetic music. The rising motion reflects the rise up of the prisoners along with their direction of pressing up through the prison. It builds into this progression and theme before leaving off with a helpless Kino stuck on the platform, unable to swim. As we transition to the underworld of Coruscant, the music immediately turns to electronic sounds and electrified drum beats, signifying that less desirable crime world known to exist there. And as we end that scene, Andor's theme comes in for the first time in this episode, and easily the strongest that we've heard it in a long time. It felt refreshing and powerful, and reflected the character breathing fresh air once more, and finding the power within himself to once again overwhelm the Empire and all its might. So what do you all think? This episode was incredible, and for me at least, the most moving one yet in the series. But I'm sitting here afterwards just confused by Bratel's use of that Clea theme. It's almost like the music is confused right now for her character. Like, he gave her a theme and then said, man, I really like this theme, but I have no place for it, so I'll just sprinkle it in throughout, and nobody will notice. But let me know what you think. What did you think of this episode, and what are your thoughts on the use of Clea's theme up till now? Tell me in the comments below, and let me know if I've missed anything. And before you go, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to learn more about the music of a galaxy far, far away. And as always, may the be with you.